Hi there. Today we're going to make some steaks, but they're not going to be from meat. They're going to be made from a nice cabbage. So I'm going to make slices of a cabbage, and we're going to season them with some thyme and some Balsamic Reduction vinegar and a little olive oil and a little garlic, and put them in the toaster oven. Okay, this cabbage is huge. If you have a smaller one, it might work a little better, but I'm just going to take one big piece off of it for today's side dish. And we're going to make some nice slices out of this, probably about 3/4 of an inch thick. And then we're going to lay them on a little baking sheet. I want to make one really nice big steak here out of the next piece. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is about 3/4 of an inch thick. We're going to lay this out here on the little sheet that we're going to bake on, and we're going to mix up some topping for this. All right, I bought some fresh thyme today, and I'm just going to take a couple sprigs. I'm just going to chop them up a little bit. Sprigs can be a little tough sometimes, so make them nice and fine. Okay, take those sprigs, put them in a little bowl, add a slight bit of olive oil just to keep all the cabbage moist as we brush it on. And I'm going to use the balsamic vinegar reduction. Now, if you don't have this, you can use balsamic vinegar, but it's processed to reduce to a much thicker, it's a little bit sweeter version. You can see when I add it to the mixture, it's very thick. But we want a lot of balsamic flavor because that's going to really make this cabbage delicious. I'm going to use some garlic that's already chopped. So this is finely chopped and comes in a jar. You could chop your own if you want, but we're going to add some of that to the mixture. Okay, just take a look at that. This is no exact measurements, but this is what it looks like. Nice dark color, garlic, thyme, olive oil, and balsamic reduction. Okay, let's get a brush and we'll get this ready for the oven. Now you can see I filled the tray up pretty well with this cabbage because I want to get as much in the oven as possible, and I'm using a KitchenAid toaster oven that has the convection feature, so it should cook nicely as it's actually roasting this steaks of cabbage. Get lots of good flavors in there. I will use everything up because it'll run down in between all the little layers of cabbage that have grown. Make sure everything is covered, and we're going to bake this until it's tender. I set the oven at 400 degrees. It's preheating now. Maybe you can hear the convection fan running in there. It's really a great little toaster oven. I'll put links there in case you're interested in having one, but I love this little toaster oven. All right. Okay. I think that looks good. I'm also going to add a little pepper to this because I always like a little fresh pepper. Some people can add salt if they like to. I don't usually like to. Put this inside the KitchenAid toaster oven. It's already hot. I'm going to set it. And we'll come back and check it and make sure it's tender before we take it out. Okay, we're going to get these out of the oven and check them out. They look like they're beautifully roasted. And we're going to put them on the counter here and take a look. Let's transfer the cabbage steak to the plate. It's a little hard to handle because it's falling apart. Okay, while the cabbage is still steaming, I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese. Or you can add any topping you like. You can even add sauces, mustard, honey mustard dressing or something like that. But I'm just going to let a little cheese melt into that. Okay, here we have a nice plate of roasted cabbage, and it's a cabbage steak. So this is a little bit crunchy, but it is tender. If you liked your cabbage more well done, of course, just roast it a little bit longer. But I just wanted to show you on the inside here how nice and moist it really is inside. And the flavors are really great. Okay, we're gonna cut the steak into quarters here so it can be shared for everybody to get a little of the side dish for dinner. And there's lots of moisture inside and lots of crunchy flavor on the edges. I think roasting vegetables like this is a nice way to bring out the sweetness. Some of my friends that where we share cooking ideas really love roasted vegetables, and I think here's a great example of one that brings out the best of flavor. So try roasting a couple slices of your cabbage. At this time of year, the cabbage is very plentiful in the fall. The harvests are coming in, and cabbage is very inexpensive at this time also. So if you have a big cabbage and you don't know what to do with it all, take a couple slices off, make some fancy steaks, and enjoy your dinner with cabbage as a side dish. Okay, stop back. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and there'll be plenty more coming with the fall harvest foods.